Today, we'll explore 5 simple solutions to combat desertification in Australia. With nearly 70% of the continent classified as arid or semi-arid, Australia faces some of the harshest conditions on Earth. Yet, despite the growing pressures of climate change and water scarcity, the country has become a global leader in land restoration and sustainability. This video reveals how innovative techniques, smart policies, and community efforts are helping reverse desertification, offering valuable lessons for the rest of the world as climate change is making this issue worse globally.
Australia's journey is one of resilience, not natural abundance. Battling erratic rainfall, severe droughts, and a sun-scorched outback, the nation has long endured some of the world's harshest environmental extremes. These pressures have sparked a bold reimagining of how Australians manage land and scarce water resources. Today, Australia stands as a global model for land restoration, water scarcity solutions, and sustainable agriculture, driven by science, powered by communities, and watched closely by innovators around the world.
Desertification is the gradual shift of fertile land into dry, lifeless terrain, driven by drought, deforestation, poor farming, and now intensified by climate change. In Australia, land degradation is worsening due to decades of overgrazing, land clearing, and the loss of native vegetation. To fight back, the country is embracing sustainable land use and green solutions to restore soil health, build resilience, and protect against future erosion.
Australia's water crisis is deepening. For generations, its people have adapted to the natural rhythm of droughts and floods, but climate change has brought more frequent, severe droughts and unpredictable rain. Vital rivers like the Murray and Darling now often shrink or suffer toxic algae blooms. Both rural areas and cities face growing water restrictions, shrinking reservoirs, and the looming threat of the next big dry.
The environmental fallout affects more than just landscapes. Agriculture, the backbone of many regional economies, bears the immediate brunt. Crop yields decline, livestock struggle, and farmers' livelihoods are thrown into uncertainty. Biodiversity suffers as native plants and animals lose vital habitats. Dust storms transport precious topsoil across vast distances, while wildfires, fueled by parched conditions, threaten both people and nature.
Confronted by these challenges, Australians have refused to accept defeat. Instead, a collective spirit of innovation and stewardship has given rise to a suite of practices and policies that are not only reversing environmental damage, but also charting a path toward sustainable coexistence with an unforgiving climate.
At the core of Australia's fight against desertification is sustainable land management, inspired by the ancient practices of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. Techniques like mosaic burning reduce wildfire risks, support regrowth, and enhance biodiversity, showing how living in harmony with the land preserves it. Modern science builds on this legacy with innovations like rainwater harvesting. From rooftop tanks in cities to advanced water capture systems on farms, collecting and reusing rainwater has become essential for both daily life and agriculture in Australia's dry climate.
Drip irrigation technology represents another leap forward. In traditional flood irrigation, much of the water is lost to evaporation or runoff. Drip systems, by contrast, deliver a precise, measured flow directly to plant roots, minimizing waste and maximizing crop returns. This technology has enabled farmers, even in Australia's harshest deserts, to grow crops like tomatoes, table grapes, and even tropical fruits, despite receiving only a handful of inches of rain each year.
Australia's fight against desertification includes bold land restoration efforts, like the long-running Greening Australia initiative. This nonprofit works to replant native vegetation, restore wildlife corridors, and stabilize eroded areas, boosting soil health, carbon storage, and biodiversity through millions of trees planted in partnership with communities and farmers.
In the heart of the outback, efforts are underway to manage grazing intensity using rotational or cell grazing, systems that mimic the movement of wild animals across grasslands. By allowing pastures time to recover, and by restoring native ground cover, these techniques slow topsoil loss, foster moisture retention, and reduce the risk of land turning to dust.
Australia's water management strategy is guided by forward-thinking policy, notably the Murray-Darling Basin Plan, one of the world's most ambitious. It aims to balance water use among agriculture, towns, Indigenous communities, and the environment. Through regulated allocations, environmental flow releases, and constant monitoring, the plan works to prevent overuse and protect vital ecosystems. Though complex and sometimes controversial, it marks a key step toward sustainable water stewardship.
Few stories showcase Australian innovation like the transformation of the Sunraysia region. Once a barren, salt-affected landscape straddling New South Wales and Victoria, it faced near collapse from salinity and land degradation. But through laser-leveled fields, advanced drip irrigation, native shelter belts, and improved soil practices, the region was revived. Today, Sunraysia is a thriving agricultural hub known for its citrus, grapes, and almonds, a testament to resilience, adaptation, and smart land management.
Australia's fight against desertification is ongoing. Climate change, urban sprawl, and mining continue to strain land and water resources. Yet, by combining Indigenous knowledge with modern science, Australia is finding powerful solutions. The world can learn two key lessons. Real change starts with honest reflection and bold adaptation, and every drop of water, an inch of healthy soil, is worth protecting. Whether on a vast farm or in a city garden, the principles of conservation and respect for nature apply to us all.
Rainwater harvesting and drip irrigation, once seen as niche or expensive solutions, are now widely accessible and essential to agricultural survival in arid climates. Reforestation and land rehabilitation can restore both ecological health and rural economies, showing that environmental investment pays dividends for generations. Inclusive policymaking, grounded in the needs of communities and the advice of those who know the land best, is key to lasting progress.
Australia's journey proves that thriving in harsh conditions is possible when science, tradition, and community unite. Through green solutions like rainwater harvesting, drip irrigation, and desert farming, the country is reclaiming arid lands and restoring ecological balance, step by step, drop by drop. These efforts to combat desertification and reverse land degradation offer a powerful blueprint for sustainable living worldwide.
Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you're inspired to see water-saving tech and farming methods in action, explore more stories from Australia and beyond. Together, through learning and action, we can build a greener, more resilient world. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey, like, share, and subscribe for more eye-opening content. Here's to a healthier, happier future. See you in the next video.